It's a little instrument and it's so small, but it's got a really great big sound. And what I like about it is that you can travel anywhere with it. So hi, I'm Anjy and this is Tony, and we're from Anjy and Tony's Creative Retirement. Now Tony's a musician, so we have a number of videos of me too, which is in my art field, but today we're going to be talking to Tony, and Tony, as you know here, is not only a keyboard player, but he plays the harp, or should I say the harmonica. So it's such a little instrument with such a big sound, and I thought it'd be kind of nice to talk to Tony a little bit about what's involved with the harp and using that, because I've always thought that that's an incredible instrument, a little small thing that you can put in your pocket that you could learn to play in retirement and take it everywhere. I mean, when we travel, we can't take this piano with us, but he sure can take a harp with him, and he's played many, many different places around the world with his harmonica.
I promise not to harp on it.
Do harp, it'll be good.
All right.
Just don't harp on me. If you could show us what your harp looks like in your harp bag.
Which one?
Oh, I like the C. Is the C a good one?
Sorry.
As you can tell, I don't have a lot of say in this.
I want the G.
But, he wants the G. But anyway, I'm going to talk to Tony a little bit about his harmonicas, because when we've travelled a lot, he always ends up sitting in with somebody playing. It's a little instrument and it's so small, but it's got a really great big sound. And what I like about it is that you can travel anywhere with it. And I thought this would be a great instrument to learn in retirement for those of you who want to learn. And we're not going to talk to you about how to actually play it. We're just going to talk about some things. What are we talking about? Are we talking
Well,
about
it's snowing outside today. The weather seems to have taken a turn. Oh yeah, we're talking about harmonicas though.
Oh yes, so we're So we are going to get ready to travel soon, and Tony will be packing his harmonicas, and he travels with a guitar too. But I just, first of all, why do they call it a harp, and what's the difference between a blues harp, a chromatic harp? There's all these different names and I never know what the difference is.
Well, harmonica, harp, blues harp, they're all the same thing. They're all harmonicas, and it's a great little instrument because it can sound pleasing to your ear by yourself, or in a crowd once you get proficient at it. And it's a very peaceful little instrument, and it can travel with you wherever you go. So I'm going to give you a little insight so that maybe you can think about getting one for yourself. They're not that expensive. A good one, you don't want to spend $10 on a harmonica because you'll just get discouraged and quit. But if you go spend $40 to $50 on a good decent harmonica, you'll be much happier. And so basically, the harmonica has 10 holes in here, and each hole.
Can you show that a little closer?
Mm-hmm.
10 holes, not 8, but it's got 10 holes.
And harmonica is one of the only instruments that you blow and suck to play it. And therefore, there's 2 rules that I have. I never lend it to anybody, ever. Nobody else blows this harp but me, because I don't want other people's germs. So this little instrument here, once you get your own harmonica, you can see there's 10 holes. And what you want to do is basically practice blowing each hole individually. because it's really simple to blow into a harmonica, but it's not so simple to just blow one hole. And you've got to learn to blow one hole in order to make melodies with the instrument. So you want to get one and just start with any hole in particular and make a sound out of it and enjoy it. I'll give you a little sample. Okay, so that's just the number 3 hole, and then once you get proficient at making all the holes sound, so on, then you can go and start learning how to blow and suck on each individual hole. So here's hole 1.
Remember when we were in Thailand and that person had a really big harp? What was the difference with that one and the little one? You said that many people didn't play that one?
Well, that's called a chromatic harp because it'll create chromatic scales on it, on that harp. These are diatonic. These don't have as many notes as diatonic, but they're much easier to play than a chromatic. The diatonic, for instance, this is a G harp. If I play in the key of G and I blow this harmonica, it won't sound discord. It won't sound really awful, no matter which note you blow. Whereas the diatonic is a whole other cat.
Isn't that what Stevie Wonder plays?
That's what Stevie Wonder plays, and I've owned one before, and I play a lot of instruments, and the diatonic harmonica, or the chromatic harmonica, pardon me, this is diatonic, the chromatic harmonica is one of the most complex instruments you can play. And so I haven't even known any other musicians in my days as a musician from the age of 5 or 6 that can play the chromatic harmonica. Until one day we're walking in Bangkok and we passed this, it looked like a storefront, and I heard a chromatic harmonica being played. I stopped for a minute and I wondered, is that a recording or is that live? And I listened for a bit and I determined it was live, and I couldn't believe how it was being played. I got shivers. And so immediately went inside this building, this doorway, and here was a young fella, maybe 24, and he was playing this chromatic harmonica, the chromatic harmonica, and it sounded like Stevie Wonder. It was just unbelievable. And so that night we went and he was performing there, and went and heard him that night with a full band. Wow.
So Tony, I just love it when you've taught a few people to play harp. I know that, and we've gone somewhere where there's a campfire, and all of a sudden somebody's getting out a different harp and they're playing it, and they haven't been playing that long, and I'm shocked. I remember that you were teaching those 4 young fellas to play over when we were over at the west side, and then a couple of months later, there they were around the campfire playing away with the harps. It was so much fun. So can you tell me what I can expect to learn, or if somebody's retired, they get a harp, what can they learn in a month?
Well, going further from blowing each individual hole and learning how to do that and getting that down. On top of that, you want to learn how to hold it so it feels real comfortable. Now, I hold it like this, basically my thumb, my finger, it fits right into there. So the back side of the instrument is open here, because as you get more proficient at it, you're going to add effects to the sound. And I'll give you an example of one effect that I'll use if I'm sitting around a campfire or if I'm playing by myself. This side is open, then I just bring this hand up and I move it back and forth. So I'll show you what that sounds like. So what can you expect to learn, say, in a month of carrying one of these around and pulling it out whenever the mood hits you? Well, you should be able to easily play little country tunes like and you can play almost any series of notes and get a good sound once you learn what the tones are of all the holes. And you should be able to do that within the first month. You know,
Should I get, if I was to get a harp, or anybody listening, they wanted to get a harp and just one harp to travel with, what would you recommend? Which key?
well, I like the G harp. For one other very important point here is harmonica in today's music is used in two types of music. One is folk and country. The other one is blues. And they're played differently, and you use different harps corresponding to the different keys. And that's another program which I'll explain how you determine whether you use a blues harp or a country harp. And but I recommend learning. You learn the country harp, which is basically the folk harp, the campfire harp, the sing-along harp. They're all much the same. So start with that first.
Tony did talk a little bit here about keeping your harp clean, and I have a video which is going to follow here about always cleaning your harp and never letting anybody else use it, because I noticed before you sat down you were in the other room and you sterilized your harps again because they've been sitting for a week actually. Press the subscribe button, press the notification button, press the microwave button, press every button you can find. And you can see more from us, and you can see more from Process Art Discovery and Anjy and Tony's Creative.